Those who are ready with your metaphors, kindly raise your hand. Let me hear from you what metaphor you have taken for yourself. Why only 2 of you have done the homework? Chalo, now I'm giving you time to think about it. Think about a word which defines you. आप अपने आप को कैसे define करोगे? कौन सा metaphor अपने लिए use करोगे? चलिए, so those who are here on the list, let me just first ask from them. Yes, Anshika, unmute yourself and tell us about your metaphor.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Ma'am, my metaphor is that I am a root of a plant, because if the root would be strong, then only the future of the plant would be secure. Same with the parents.
Okay, so you are talking about yourself as you are the root. So you want to be just strong like roots. Whatever you do in your life, you want to go into the depth of that thing. So you are calling yourself as roots. Okay, chaliye, welcome. Vidya.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Ma'am, I just like to say that I am like a bull in a china shop because I make so many mistakes. I'm getting clumsier day by day. I feel so. So I think it would best define me because I make mistakes regularly sometimes, and getting clumsy, and also that's the best definition I would get for myself.
Okay, one suggestion is there. Always choose the positive side in you. Because when you will be using that metaphor for yourself now, that will inspire you more. So think of another metaphor that defines the positive aspect of you. Quickly, any other metaphor for you? Positive one. What is the positive side in you? Like if you're good at painting, you can call yourself, I am a paintbrush, right? I am a color. So that way you can choose any other thing. So think about it. Okay, so it should be a positive one from your personality. Yes, now let me move on to the another child. Think about this, Vidya, and I'll be coming back to you again. Next one. Kashish.
Ma'am, I think I am ocean because I want to go deep and deep in the concepts, and I am too much curious to know about new things, learning new things in daily life. Like the
Okay.
depth of the ocean.
Thoda sa, you're not taking the metaphors in a correct way. Okay, ocean is deep. That means आप में भी गहराई है. That means somewhere आपके nature में गहराई है. So choose that way. Right? आपने जो metaphor ठीक है, ocean ले सकते हैं, but the quality, the way you have described, it is not actually matching with it. ठीक है? ठीक है, you want to go deep into every aspect, so can be taken, but think of some other justification that why you call yourself as ocean, right? Okay, so you are an ocean. ठीक है, good one. Siddhima.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Ma'am, not only me, but my parents also call me Miss Chatterbox because I used to talk a lot, and
Okay.
not everyone who knows me says that I talk a lot, and they call me Miss Chatterbox.
Okay, but I never found you talking in the class that way. I never found you that way. Chaliye, you are calling yourself a chatterbox, okay, because you talk a lot. Chaliye, good one. You're learning to use the metaphors. Gradually, you will learn to use the perfect metaphors. That's why I've given you this task so that you learn it, how to use it. Vansh the girl.
Yes, ma'am, I want to compare.
Yes, what is your
Hello.
metaphor for you, Hanji beta?
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, you're audible.
Ma'am, I want to compare myself to a newspaper because I know I love to learn new things. What is happening?
Pardon, I can't hear what it was comparing. I am. So you will use the word I am dash. Say that way.
Hello, ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, you are audible. Speak loudly, little louder. What you are
I
saying?
want to compare myself to a newspaper because I love to
Okay.
learn new things. What is happening in the world, I love to learn.
Now you can use the word newspaper. अगर आप न्यूज़पेपर की तरह हर तरह की जानकारी लोगों को देते हो, then you can call yourself as newspaper. But if you are saying I want to learn, then that metaphor is not suiting you. न्यूज़पेपर की क्वालिटी क्या है? न्यूज़पेपर में बहुत वैरायटी ऑफ न्यूज जो है वो होती है एंड लोग उसको पढ़ते हैं एंड दे आल्सो गेन नॉलेज. So if people in your company, they gain a lot of knowledge from you, information from you, then you can call yourself as newspaper. So the explanation that you have given is not appropriate for the word that you have chosen for your metaphor. So think of something different which actually defines you. You have to compare your quality with that particular thing or any other, whatever you're using for your metaphor, right? Okay, think of it. Sorry, Shrey Thapar, yes, what is your metaphor for yourself?
I am a guide because some of my friends always depend on me for their studies
Chaliye, wonderful. I
and
am a guide.
work.
Okay, chaliye, good one. Ishita, quickly unmute and tell
Yes,
briefly.
good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
My metaphor is that I am a squirrel. That like squirrel is always active and know the surrounding awareness. So that I am like other squirrel only.
Okay, wonderful. Hanji. Okay. Yes, beta, wonderful. You are a squirrel. Just as squirrel is very agile, active, you are like that. Wonderful. Khushi.
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, I think so that I am a sky, as sky have many clouds which changes their shape, and I have a cloud-like brain which changes in few seconds.
चलिए आपने यूज किया, but it is actually not correctly defining your personality, what explanation you are giving. चलिए, let it be. Think of it. Why you are calling yourself as sky? Yes, Ridya, have you thought about a new metaphor for yourself? Those who have said, please lower your hands. Yes, Vita.
Yes, ma'am. I've just thought about, like, I am like a garden who loves to, just maintain their relationships with their family and friends. And I like to help other people also. And as a garden, I just always like to cultivate new relationships and and maintaining the older ones. And also I get rid of the people who are toxic or who are maybe negative people in my life.
Okay, so chaliye, you can call yourself as a gardener then, you know, the gardener, the way he plants different varieties of plants in the saplings in the garden, then nurtures it, and then he removes the weeds from the garden, jo unwanted plants hote hain. So that way you are a gardener. Chaliye, wonderful. You're learning to use the metaphors. Think more metaphors this way which can define. Okay, Pratham, yes beta, hanji, boliye, aapka kaun sa metaphor hai?
Ma'am, my metaphor is that I am a polyglot because I love learning languages and their culture.
Okay, good one. Chaliye, Sahib Singh.
And my metaphor is katana because it is also thin, but its sharpness is very awesome.
I'm not aware of this katana. What is that?
Ma'am, it is a Japanese sword used by samurais.
Okay, chaliye. I'll look for the word, what it means. Chaliye, you call yourself as katana. Anybody else? Last one I am going to take. If you want to add about your personality, please do. Last call. No one? Harshit? Yes, beta. हो गया, चलिए.
Ma'am,
हाँ जी.
Ma'am, I want to compare myself with ant because it works harder until it achieves success.
Wonderful. Ants. Chaliye, good one. You are comparing yourself with ants, the quality of working hard day and night. Chaliye, good one. So see, these are the ways you use the metaphor. When you are comparing one quality with the other quality of the other thing, but there is no similarity between the two, and you use it directly, calling I am dash, right? Chaliye, good one. Let's now move on to the explanation part. So we are reading the poem that is The Road Not Taken. Let me just quickly give you a recap of what we have done. We have done 2 stanzas. So quick recap of the two stanzas. So in the very first stanza, the poet, he says that while he was going on his way to a forest on the day of autumn month, so it was autumn season going on. So yellow woods refers to the forest. Woods कहते हैं forest को, jungle को. So he was crossing through that forest. So he came across a point where the road, it diverges into two, it forks into two, right? And he regrets that he cannot travel on both the roads because he is one individual, and one individual cannot be at two places at the same time. So he cannot travel both the roads simultaneously. And that's why he stood there for a long time and looked down one road. जो एक रास्ता था, उस रास्ते को ध्यान से वो देखने लगे, as far as he can see, and he finds that after some distance it turns to the undergrowth. That means वो उस रास्ते को वहां तक देखते रहे जहां तक उनको वो रास्ता नजर आ रहा था, because after that point the road it just turned towards the undergrowth. Undergrowth क्या होती है? जो झाड़ियां होती हैं, thickets होती हैं, और वह उन झाड़ियों के बीच से वो रास्ता और दिखाई नहीं दे रहा था. And it says that as he was observing the two roads, when he looked at the other one, he found the other road equally promising. Just as fair means it was equally challenging in comparison to the first one. दोनों same challenge provide कर रहे थे. And it is as fair as the first road. Fair यहाँ पर मतलब है promising one, having perhaps the better claim. So better claim means it was providing a better challenge than the first one, because it was grassy and wanted wear. So इसे literal level पे क्या कह रहे हैं? इस रास्ते पर काफी सारी घास थी, काफी कम लोग उस रास्ते से गुजरे थे, and it seemed as if the road was inviting the poet, asking him to pass through that road. Though as for that the passing there had warned them really about the same. Now poet फिर क्या कहते हैं कि if I talk about people passing through that road, what I observe that both the roads have been equally worn out, both the roads have been equally traveled by the people. But yes, the first road was traveled by a good number of people, and the second road it was less traveled by. Okay, ये clear है? Last आपने कल आप में से किसी ने पूछा था to explain the last two lines. Is the line clear to you, beta? Okay, then let's move on to the next stanza. And both that morning equally lay, in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. Now, there are two things that the poet has mentioned. One is the general observation that he was talking about, that when the poet, he was standing at the point of the divergence, he found both the roads equally traveled by the people, although the first one was traveled by more number of people, right? And then what he says in the third stanza, and both that morning equally lay. उस सुबह जब पोएट वहां खड़े थे, that morning when the poet stood there, वो बात कर रहे हैं उस सुबह क्या रोड की कंडीशन थी. एक कंडीशन क्या उन्होंने एक्सप्लेन की कि जो दो रास्ते थे उनमें से जो पहला रास्ता था उस पर काफी लोग गुजर चुके थे क्योंकि उस रास्ते पर कम घास थी, और दूसरा जो रास्ता था उस पर से बहुत कम लोग गुजरे थे, राइट, क्योंकि उस रास्ते पर काफी घास थी. ना अगर आपने कभी खेत खलिहान को ध्यान से देखा हो तो वहां पर देखो एक पगडंडी सी बन जाती है क्योंकि वहां से लोग अक्सर गुजरते हैं, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ देयर फुटस्टेप्स व्हाट हैपेंस इज एन इंप्रेशन इज क्रिएटेड देयर. वहां पर एक निशान बन जाते हैं लोगों के कदमों के, और उस जगह की मिट्टी जो है वो दब जाती है, राइट. सो वो क्या कहते हैं, इस सुबह जब वो वहां पर खड़े हैं, द कंडीशन ऑफ द रोड, बोथ द रोड्स आर ऑफ इक्वल कंडीशन. और वो ऐसा क्यों कहते हैं? इन लीव्स नो स्टेप हैड ट्रॉडन ब्लैक. नाउ वो जो लीव्स, जो फॉलन लीव्स हैं, क्योंकि ऑटम सीजन चल रहा है और वहां पर जो पत्ते हैं वो बार जो गिरे हुए हैं, वो क्या कहते हैं जो उस सुबह वहां पत्ते गिरे हुए थे, उन नए गिरे पत्तों पर किसी के कदमों के निशान नहीं बने थे। सो वो क्या कहते हैं, द फॉलन लीव्स दैट मॉर्निंग ले uncrushed as no one has passed on that path, on both those roads that morning when the poet was standing there. समझ आई? So वो क्या कहते हैं, that morning both the roads equally lay. So that morning both the roads were in equal condition, as the leaves which had fallen on those roads, those leaves were still uncrushed because the leaves had not been trodden by much travelers. जो क्रश नहीं हुए थे, क्योंकि उन रास्तों पर से बहुत सारे जो ट्रैवलर्स जो गुजरते हैं अक्सर, उस सुबह अभी तक कोई नहीं गुजरा था। पोएट वहां पर सबसे पहले ट्रैवलर थे। किस दिन? जिस सुबह वो वहां से गुजर रहे थे। And then what he says, oh, I kept the first for another day. Now here this O, it is the O of regret. वो दोबारा से रिग्रेट कर रहे हैं क्या, कि जो फर्स्ट रोड था, आई केप्ट इट फॉर सम अदर डे टू ट्रैवल। एंड वो क्या कहते हैं, येट नोइंग हाउ वे लीड्स ऑन टू वे, आई डाउटेड इफ आई शुड एवर कम बैक। पोएट क्या कहते हैं कि he kept the first road for some other day, knowing the fact very well that how one way leads on to the another। वो यहाँ क्या कहना चाहते हैं, जैसे आप समझ लो फगवाड़ा से आप जा रहे हो अमृतसर की तरफ, राइट? तो आप पहले जलंधर से गुजर रहे हो, फिर आप अमृतसर की तरफ आगे बढ़ते चले जाओगे, लेकिन क्या आप पीछे मुड़कर लुधियाना आ सकोगे? अगर आपको अमृतसर जाना है, नहीं, आप पीछे नहीं मुड़ोगे, बिकॉज आपको पता है कि एक रास्ता दूसरे रास्ते से जुड़कर आपको अमृतसर की तरफ लेकर जाएगा। सो वंस यू हैव चोजन द डेस्टिनेशन कि आपने अमृतसर जाना है, सो यू कैन नॉट रिटर्न बैक, and you know this very well that how that road will lead you to another way। और अमृतसर के बाद भी वो रास्ता आपको कहीं और ले जाएगा, बट वापस आपको फगवाड़ा या लुधियाना की तरफ नहीं लेकर जाएगा, राइट? सो इस तरह से how one way leads on to another way, I doubted if I should ever come back। And thus he says that however he was doubtful at that moment whether he would ever come back to walk again on the first road। वो इस बात को भली भांति जानते थे कि चूंकि ये एक रास्ता मुझे दूसरे रास्ते की ओर लेता चला जाएगा, he will keep on moving forward, he would not be able to return to travel the first road again। क्यों? अब इसका सिंबॉलिक रेफरेंस क्या है? लिटरल मीनिंग में आपको समझ आ गया। नाउ पोएट इसको सिंबॉलिकली क्या कहना चाहते हैं, that once you take a decision, you make a decision in your life and you start walking on that path, you cannot just return to the starting point again। and इसलिए जब हम choices लेते हैं, उनको चुनते हैं और कोई फैसला लेते हैं, हमें बहुत सावधानी से अपने फैसले लेने हैं, बहुत सावधानी से अपने आगे का रास्ता चुनना है, क्योंकि हमारा जो फ्यूचर है हमारे उस एक पर्टिकुलर डिसीजन पे डिपेंड करता है। So he says, I doubted if I should ever come back। Now in the concluding stanza, what the poet says, the fourth stanza and the last one, I shall be telling this with a sigh, somewhere ages and ages hence, two roads diverged in a wood and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference। Very important lines for you। Now he says, I shall be telling this with a sigh। sigh जो होती है बेटा, it can be a sigh of relief or sigh of pain as well। Now अभी जब पोएट ये डिसीजन ले रहे हैं, वो अपने फ्यूचर के बारे में कुछ खास बता नहीं पाएंगे, बट ही कैन मेक अ गेस। और वो क्या कहते हैं कि now I have taken a decision and about my decision whether it is a correct one or not, I can only tell years later, but not at this moment। So when he says somewhere ages and ages hence, it means years later। ages refers to years, hence means later, that after certain years I would be able to tell with a sigh of relief or sigh of pain about the consequence of my decision. Now here I would like to just warn you regarding the sigh, the usage of the word sigh here. In many reference book and on internet, wrong information is given there, as it is said that the poet is regretting his decision. But I am warning, you will not use this line whenever you are writing your answers. Because at the moment, poet has just taken the decision of traveling on to the second road. So he says that I shall be telling. Now see, usage of shall is clear that he is talking about the future here. कि भविष्य में कुछ सालों बाद ही मैं बता पाऊंगा कि मैंने जो डिसीजन लिया वो सही था या गलत था. Is it clear? So he says, I shall be telling this with a sigh. So it is after certain years that I would be able to tell whether the decision taken by me was the correct one or not. And it can be a sigh of relief or sigh of pain. But at the moment, I would not be able to tell the consequence of my decision. And thus he says, two roads diverged in a wood. See, this line is repeated here again. The poet opens with this line, and here again in the concluding stanza, we have this line here. So it is the repetition used here. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I being the individual traveler, what decision did I take? I took the one less traveled by. So which road is chosen by the poet? He had chosen the road which is less traveled by the people. And that has made all the difference. A very important line. Now, when the poet has taken a decision, it has already shaped his life in a different way. Kaise? Because once we have taken a decision, it sets a course of the life. वो हमारे life का एक course set कर देते हैं, and thus it provides a particular direction on which you have to move. Towards with that direction, you have to move continuously forward. So he says that, and this decision, it has actually made a difference in my life. Why? Because he had not chosen the path which is traveled by a good number of people. उन्होंने जो रास्ता चुना वो कौन सा था जहां पर बहुत कम लोग गुजरे. Now let me explain this thing in this way. अब जैसे देखो, जब आप 10th से पास करके निकलते हो, करियर चूज करने की बात आती है. Now there are basically the streams like medical, non-medical, commerce, that way. There are other streams as well. Arts में बहुत सारी streams हैं जहाँ लोग law पढ़ते हैं, जहाँ लोग tourism पढ़ते हैं, जहाँ लोग fine arts पढ़ते हैं. So ये जो streams हैं, ये वो रास्ते हैं जिस पर कम लोग आगे चलते हैं. और जो जनरल स्ट्रीम्स है जहां बहुत से लोग आगे बढ़ते रहते हैं, वो ये सारी स्ट्रीम्स है. सो ऐसे लोग जो है वो भी एक तरह से डेयरिंग होते हैं लाइफ में. दोज हु डिसाइड टू टेक द पाथ व्हिच इज लेस ट्रैवल्ड बाय, व्हिच इज मोर प्रॉमिसिंग, व्हिच इज मोर चैलेंजिंग. बट व्हाटएवर द केस इज, वंस यू टेक अ डिसीजन, इट सेट्स द कोर्स ऑफ योर लाइफ. वो आपके लाइफ की एक दिशा को तय कर देते हैं और उसी दिशा में फिर आपको आगे बढ़ना है. And that decision makes the difference in your life. और यही सबसे बड़ा एक difference आपके जीवन में बना देता है. Yes? Okay. Yes, better. Who has raised hand? You have lowered it again. Is there any query from your side? You can unmute and ask. No? Okay. So this is the poem that is The Road Not Taken. So if I talk about, okay, let me just move on to the next slide before I start with the, yes. So message of this poem. What is exactly Robert Frost trying to convey through this poem? He seems to hold out the moral that life is a continuous journey full of divergence now and then, right? लाइफ में बहुत सारी चॉइसेस आपको मिलेंगे. So यहाँ डाइवर्जेंस क्या है? The choices. And the important thing is to move on without looking back, whether the choice of path taken was right or wrong. Now we cannot get everything in life and have to make choices, right? So whatever direction our life takes is determined by the choices made by us. So in the journey of life, one can seldom come back to travel the road not taken. But if the decision has been made, if you have chosen the path, you must move on to the path, right? So this poem has a very, very deeper meaning. So what the poet is trying to say, that how we human beings are often confronted with the choices in life, we find ourselves in dilemma. The choices that we get, they offer, we can say, different, there are advantages and disadvantages, and we are tempted to enjoy all those choices. कई बार हमें मन करता है हम ये भी ले लें, उस रास्ते पर भी चलें, वो भी डिसीजन ले लें. But here the poet gives us a word of caution. He wants us to understand the simple thing that we cannot be at two places at the same time. So keeping aside all the temptation, we should judge our interest, our needs, our abilities, and choose the one that suits us. हमें बहुत गहराई से सोचकर अपने decisions को लेना है. So he says that if we are not rational in our choice, अगर हम अपने choices में logical नहीं है, rational होना, logical होना, अगर हम सोच समझकर निर्णय नहीं लेते हैं, तो कई बार हमें भविष्य में पछताना पड़ता है. So इसलिए बहुत जरूरी है that we make a decision with wisdom. हम wise decisions लें, because every road leads to another road, and coming back again to that point is quite unlikely. You cannot come back to the point from where you started. मान लो आपने डिसाइड किया आप मेडिकल लेके पढ़ोगे, डॉक्टरी पढ़ोगे, बट आपको फिर काफी हद तक 2 साल 3 साल पढ़ने के बाद लगा आप डॉक्टर नहीं बन पाओगे, then it would be difficult for you to come back to that point again, क्योंकि अब आप आगे बढ़ चुके हो, आप पीछे नहीं मुड़ सकते. So that way, take decisions cautiously. So he says we have to be very cautious, we have to be very rational in our choices, right students? Now various literary devices used in the poem. Poetic devices को समझना बहुत जरूरी है. सबसे पहले आती है बारी rhyme scheme की. अब ये rhyme scheme क्या होती है, ठीक है? हर एक poem में there is a particular rhyme scheme. Some poems they do have, some don't. Now देखिए, we will, to decide the rhyme scheme, we will have to look at the words, the ending words of the line. Now see, I shall be telling this with a sigh. So let's name it as A. Somewhere ages and ages hence. Now hence is not rhyming with sigh, so we will name it B. Two roads diverged in a wood and I. Now sigh के साथ I rhyme करता है, so we can name it as A again. I took the one less traveled by. Now ये देखिए किससे rhyme कर रहा है, by, I, sigh. So A, B, A, and that has made all the difference. Difference word hence के साथ rhyme करता है, और hence को हमने क्या word दिया था, alphabet B. So what is the rhyme scheme? A, B, A, B. So this is the rhyme scheme of the poem, and you find throughout this rhyme scheme going on. ठीक है? Next is symbolism. Two roads which represents two or more choices in our life. So symbol use किया गया है road का, और road किस symbol का काम कर रहा है? It is used as different choices that we get in our life. Now there is another poetic device. Kindly note it down, or you can take the screenshot. Alliteration. This is I think new device for you. Alliteration क्या होता है? It is the consonant sound repeated in a line. Consonant आवाज जो जैसे wanted, where, ये जो line है इसमें व sound repeat हुआ है ना? So wanted, where, then their first form, though, that. First form में first sound repeat हो रहा है, though that में the sound repeat हो रहा है. So this is called alliteration. Repetition होता है, suppose in a line a particular word is repeated or a particular line is repeated in the poem, so we call it repetition. Ages and ages hence, the word ages is repeated. Then the line two roads diverged in a wood, ये 2 बार use की गई है poem में, so this sentence has been repeated there. Then the metaphor, रोड को सिंबोलिज्म के साथ साथ एक्सटेंडेड मेटाफोर के तौर पे यूज किया गया है, where road it refers to the life full of choices. Yes, Vidya, what is your doubt? Please unmute and tell me.
Ma'am, I wanted to know the meaning of two lines, the last two lines again. Ma'am, I took the
Yes.
one less traveled by.
Yes, let me come to that part again. I took the one less traveled by, and he's talking about the decision taken by him. That which road he has taken. He has taken the road which was traveled by less number of people. That means जो चैलेंज से भरा रास्ता था वो उन्होंने चुना, वो रास्ता जहां लोग ज्यादा नहीं जाना चाहते, तो ऐसा उसने एक डिसीजन लिया जहां पर बहुत कम लोग ऐसे डिसीजन लेते हैं. एंड ही सेज दैट हैज मेड ऑल द डिफरेंस, बिकॉज अगर उस रास्ते पर कम लोग गए हैं तो उस रास्ते पर जो सक्सेस के रेट है वो भी कम है या ज्यादा, इट डिपेंड्स ऑन द रिस्पॉन्सेज. सो जितने कम लोग हैं उतना कम रिस्पॉन्स मिलेगा आपको, और आपको कम लोगों के द्वारा जो रिस्पॉन्स नहीं मिल पा रहा है तो यू विल नॉट बी श्योर ऑफ दैट वेदर दैट डिसीजन इज गोइंग टू प्रूव गुड वन और इट इज गोइंग टू बी अ बैड वन. नाउ जहां पर ज्यादा लोग गुजरते हैं तो वो श्योर शॉट है कि ये रास्ता पक्का अमृतसर की ओर ले जाएगा, है ना. अगर आप अमृतसर की तरफ जा रहे हो जो मेन रूट है, जब आपको पता है इसी रोड से अक्सर सारे लोग जाते हैं, लेकिन सपोज आपने कोई शॉर्टकट ले लिया जहां पर ज्यादा लोग नहीं जाते, तो क्या आप श्योर होगे कि क्या वाकई में मैं अमृतसर पहुंच जाऊंगा? ये तो पहुंचने के बाद ही आप पता लगा पाओगे. तो आपने एक रिस्क ले लिया. तो इस तरह से वो कहते हैं कि and this has made all the difference because now he has taken the risk. He had decided to travel the road which is traveled by less number of people. And whether I am going to be successful or this decision is going to be proved to be a failure, I can only tell with a sigh of relief or sigh of pain years later when I reach my destination. I hope the poem is clear to all, Beta. Yes. Let me just quickly discuss the questions, or we can discuss it on Monday then, right? We will start the discussion of questions on Monday. So homework will be to find answers to the questions which are given at the back of the question, right? I hope the poem is clear to you.